Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about the magic of mental well-being and basically how not to feel guilty, because as we've just come through the Christmas period and we start going into the new year, of course, many of us are indulging a little bit in extra foods, maybe sweet things, a few extra drinks, and of course, breaking routines in terms of exercise and other habits that we have. So if we take care of our mental well-being, we can actually let go of those feelings of guilt. So you know that inner voice that criticizes you and says, oh, you shouldn't do this, that's really bad. It's kind of that, okay? So we take control over it. So we're the driver in our own journey, okay? Because your journey is ultimately the powerful one. No one else's, yours. You are the center, you are the leading character, you are the hero, okay? Ultimately, you want to be happy, you want to feel confident, you want to live the life that you ultimately love. Ultimately, it's my favorite word today. But this takes our mental well-being, and that's kind of magical because it can. Let's take the idea of Christmas that we've just had. Many of us have just taken a couple of days off. If you're like me, I only went for a gentle walk, didn't really do anything. Bit extra food. I've actually eaten chocolates, a few extra drinks, but I've not really done the things I would normally do. Okay, I'm not saying I've eaten really bad foods like Christmas dinners, all freshly cooked, fresh vegetables. You get the idea. So there's a lot of good things in there, but I've not beaten myself up for the bad things. And that is the magic that lies within our minds. Okay, so ultimately your story is telling you something. Okay, and you can choose your story. Now, let's take the idea of I chose not to get up and work out. That was a conscious choice. Now, what can happen? I'm sure you've heard it. I'm not going to work out today. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to watch cartoons this morning. Little voice in your head going, you really should work out. Bet you've heard it at some point. You should work out. Can't believe you've been so lazy. Okay, all the inner doubts. You got to put that weight back on. You got to feel really bad. Okay, whatever this little inner voice is that kind of makes you feel bad for it. Okay, now you might not have had it on the day. You might have just gone, yeah, it's fine. But you might get to like today or tomorrow and you start going, oh, I wish I hadn't done. It's the I wish I hadn't, or I wish I had, and I feel so bad. And, you get the little stories. So these little inner voices are basically our emotions and stuff trying to change our story for us. We made a choice, okay? You cannot change the past. You cannot change yesterday. You do not live in the past. You don't live in yesterday. You don't live in 5 years ago. Yet the things that happened in this time is part of our journey and creating our story, which is why we're in the now, okay? So we've got this backstory, as it were, in our present, and we're trying to create the future. All right, we want to be healthier, we want to be happier, we want the job of our dreams, we want to have money, we want whatever your goals are, you want to be creating this ending to your story. Okay, you want to write the rest of the book. Okay, now if we spend all our time worrying about the what ifs, what if I had, I wish I hadn't, then we're constantly holding on to maybe the mistakes we learned or made and the learning lessons that we have to make. Rather than actually learning the lesson from it, we're focusing on the situation that we were in. Okay, so if we take the Christmas idea, we're not working out, feeling really bad, thinking I feel really sluggish, I've obviously taken a few days off working out, I'm going to put my weight on, it's going to be really hard. And particularly if you're somebody who's worked really hard to get through to the Christmas period, maybe you've put more effort in. Now, you start feeling these sort of levels of guilt. And then, of course, we start feeling bad about what we do and thinking, well, I either need to do more. Okay, so you think, I need to double down my efforts and do more. Or you do the opposite and just go, screw it. I'll just wait till New Year then. Okay, I've already gone this far off. I might as well just keep going and then I'll pick it up next year. Right? Now, there's a massive problem with that. Our mental well-being is in the wrong space. Okay, it's imbalanced. Either way. So really we have a day or two off. We overindulge slightly. We come back and go, you know what? I'm going to do what I can this week. I can fit a workout in here. I can do this. But I'm just going to moderate my chocolate, whatever. So you can still do things, okay? You can always meditate. There's loads of meditations. I've just put a couple on the last 2 weeks. So if you want to check those out, obviously they're on my channel. But there is always a healthy habit or behavior that you can do for you that will boost your confidence, boost your health, and boost your happiness. Right? I know that sounds like wow, but all these things are there and ready for us. So yes, exercise is a high one on this list. Okay, so is healthy eating and staying hydrated, very high on the list. But you can also express gratitude, and I mean sincere gratitude, not just saying thank you for someone holding the door. You could go and do something kind. You go and help someone out. Maybe a neighbor needs help. You can actually go and be socially connected. This is a time about togetherness. Okay, remember, Christmas gets lost sometimes, but it's about being together and enjoying those moments. So why not take the time, if you, particularly if you're off work, to go and connect with somebody, or sit and have a coffee with a stranger? You know, you go into the coffee shops. How many people just sat there and say, "Look, can I join you? Can we have coffee together?" Okay, building connections is what we're sort of designed to do. We're designed to be connected. So, you know, people will say no. Just go, okay, thank you, because they gave you a no. It's fine. So, the other one is so we have exercise, eating, drinking water, say not drinking alcohol, gratitude, being connected, savoring. So, the practice of mindfulness. You can actually boost your skills within this area and just start to savor. Maybe again, take the coffee, sit and have coffee, savor the flavors, savor the environment. But you can hone in your mindfulness skills, which will actually make you feel happier, give you a sense of calm, so feel calmer, and ease any niggling emotions, maybe these voices of self-doubt that come up. Meditation is there. I've already given you that one earlier. But you can also focus on your sleep habits. So Christmas, a lot of us go out, Christmas parties, evenings with families, all these sorts of things that we do can affect our sleep routine. So maybe just think, okay, I know my eating's still going to be off till New Year, but I can make sure I have my bedtime routine and I get back into my morning routine. So there are things that you can do, and each of these is shown to boost your genuine happiness. Okay, so they will actually boost your happiness naturally. Okay, they're obviously, a lot of them are free. You don't actually have to do anything. You know, obviously, if you've got a gym membership, that does cost. If you're going to buy extra organic food, again, that does cost. But there's a lot of things that you can do for free, which take very little time, even just 5 minutes. You don't have to suddenly feel like you've got to cram something else in. Okay, now when we have these voices of self-doubt as well, we're creating the story. Okay, we've made a choice, we've created the story, we've got to where we are now. This is where we are. This is the magic of our mental well-being, because a lot of these voices will come up, and it's, say, a test in some ways. It's just challenging us, checking that we're doing what we want to be doing. So it's maybe those doubts from before, like, are you good enough, and things like this. And it's our chance to go, yeah, I am good enough. Or go, no, I'm okay with the fact I made a choice. Again, the confidence is allowed to come out. Okay, you can silence it and go, I'm not listening to that. I'm just not listening. That's not my story. Okay, you can even use those words. That's not my story. It's quite powerful. You can question it. Go, but why would I feel guilty for having 2 days off? If it hadn't been Christmas and I hadn't had some extra chocolate, some drinks, then I probably wouldn't feel so guilty by it. So it's just because it's the accumulation of a couple of things together. So actually, you know what? A couple of days, my body's gone a bit overboard, but I'm still not off track. I'm still okay. So it's a chance for you to reassure yourself. Now, so you can quieten it down. You can question it and go, why? But you can also shut it up. Yeah, you can go cancel that. That's not real. Okay, so you can cancel it, but you can also correct it. So you can go, oh, you know, the little voice going, oh, but you're going to put all that weight back on. Go, no, I'm not. 2-3 days is not going to put me off track. And anything I do put on, I can quickly lose. Remember, short-term, things you've gained in the short term can be very quickly lost. If it's taken time to get there, it's going to take time to undo. All right? So rather than us sitting here feeling guilty, thinking we should feel bad for enjoying a board game with our friends, maybe having a glass of wine with family, or a few sweets from the advent calendar, whatever it is that we've been doing, there's no need for you to feel guilty about it. It's what you do consistently that counts. 1 or 2 days isn't going to be a bad thing in the long term, but it's what you do from today that writes the rest of the story. So rather than worry about yesterday and the past and the things that you cannot change, you cannot change yesterday. But this is your closing thought, guys. You cannot change yesterday, only your feelings and thoughts towards it. So rather than worrying about it, pick the lesson and change something. You don't have to do it all at once. Just try and do something and find that little bit of acceptance, of comfort, and know how awesome you are in everything that you do. So let's have a great evening ahead and enjoy the rest of the festive period and the holidays guilt-free.